Madison Field, home of your San Diego Force. The Force hosts the Riverside Bulldogs for games 2 and 3 of this 3-game series. Today's game is sponsored by Spark Bats, Zyco Premium Natural Coconut Water, Giant Sunflower Seeds, and Builders Express. Please refrain from throwing any objects on the playing field or interfering with any ball play. Fans are not allowed onto the playing field before, during, or after the game. Violators may be subject to prosecution. A friendly reminder that bats and balls that go into the stands may be dangerous, so please be alert at all times. As a courtesy to our fans, there is no smoking inside the stadium or any part of the school grounds. San Diego Force Baseball is on Facebook and Twitter. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us at SD Force Baseball on Twitter for promotions, event information, as well as photos from the season. Check for updates at sdforcebaseball.com. Coaches and umpires meeting is brought to you tonight by Giant Sunflower Seeds, the ultimate in sunflower seeds. Let's meet the umpires for tonight's game. Your umpires today are Tony Formando and Dimitri Boras.
Imagine if he did that during the break. Those little advertisements.
This time, we would like to ask everyone to please rise and remove your caps in honor of the playing of our national anthem.
Here on campus, of course, of Madison High School in San Diego, California. Scotty Gange, Milad, Ghaemi here with you today for some conference play in the SCCBL. It's today the Riverside Bulldogs traveling here to San Diego to play the home team of San Diego Force in games 2 and 3. Double dip in baseball today in their 3-game series. Milad, big game today. How are you feeling about it?
I think the Force got a real good opportunity. Yesterday they played a tough team in the Saints up in Pasadena. They played a team full of Division I players, and they came out with a 14-7 lead.
And you said it, Force now 4-1 on the season, and we'll go over their schedule real quick. First game of the season, they actually beat the Bulldogs in game 1 of this 3-game series, 9-3. That was this past Tuesday, the 5th of June. And they come back with a 4-3 win over the Pirates. And their first homestand game here was a loss against the Gorillas, and then, of course, that 14-7 victory yesterday. And for the Bulldogs, they are 4-1 right now, and 3-1 are Force, Bulldogs beat the Bucks 2-1 yesterday, 6-4 on Friday. Both wins over the Bucks in conference play. Lost, of course, to the Force and beat the Bombers twice. One of them 21-9 and 8-1. So once again, Bulldogs 4-1 and the San Diego Force 3-1 on the season so far. Big game here in the SCCBL and some solid pitching matchups of Colby Childs and Frank Lopez of the San Diego Force. I know you know a lot about Frank Lopez. I'll send it over to you to get a full breakdown before we get things rocking.
Well, it's important to keep in mind that the Bulldogs were 4-1 all league games. Your San Diego Force are undefeated in league. Only loss was a non-league game.
Quick breakdown of the SCCBL. It's the Southern California Collegiate Baseball League. 7 teams: Force, Bulldogs, Bucks, Pirates, Power, and the Bombers of SoCal. So 7 teams all going for that elusive championship at the end of the season. The San Diego Force, 7-time champions, and the Bulldogs' newer team don't believe they have won one, at least in recent years, as the Palm Springs Power took the championship last year, both in the regular season and the postseason. A phenomenal team last year, but it's a whole new year, new players, and really new everything, and especially new for the Bulldogs this year is their new head coach of Jake Galloway. Galloway in his first season and started off hot, of course, 4-1, and a great start for him, and the Force led by Coach Eric Poirier and Coach Moody, and so we're about to get things rocking here in the field for the San Diego Force today. Once, of course, at pitcher is Frank Lopez. Behind the plate, Aaron Barkley. From third to first, Trey Martin, Pearson, Greg Bennett, and Donnie Rothler. And from left to right, Jordan Wilkerson, Junior Coleman, Baker Springston. And Milad, I got to ask you, who in that lineup stands out to you?
Well, definitely from yesterday's game against the Saints, you have Greg Bennett, who had a great day, 6 RBIs, a home run. He's got interest from San Diego State, TCU, UC Irvine, and Louisville. He's going to look to make another impact today.
And you heard it right there. Now it's officially underway as that first pitch there by Frank Lopez is a ball to Case Warner, today's right fielder for the Bulldogs, and their leadoff man. Case Warner, lefty, up to the plate. Bulldogs in the red top and gray pants as that next pitch is ripped out into deep left center field, but Junior Coleman will be under it, and that's the first. Red tops with blue numbers and white script around those numbers, and their gray Force in their usual everyday jerseys, the navy blue with the baby blue, Force with the white gold numbers. Next up is a first pitch high, called for a ball. Been one of the studs for the Bulldogs this year so far, and helping them get their 4 wins out of their first 5 games as that next pitch is fouled back.
Lopez.
We'll see his full repertoire today. As fastball right down the pipe. Amonte late pull the trigger.
Into the game just like he did against the Bulldogs on June 5th.
Shot over to the second baseman. 4-3, it's out number 2 here in the top of the first.
Great start for Frank. And that pitch count low. He's got 2 outs already real quick. And he's a quick worker, so we'll see a lot of that today.
Two outs already, so a good start for Frank Lopez. For the Bulldogs right now. Newfield will be in left field today. Side looked like, yep, and it did go off of his left leg, and it will be a foul ball.
Frank Lopez just finished his junior year at University of Cumberland, as you said. He's looking to switch schools, and I think many D1 schools are going to be taking a look at him as he's had a great showing so far in this league.
The beauty of summer league. Slapped over to the right side, and you know, for all these players out here, not really big schools, although yesterday in Arroyo Seco, you know, community colleges here, and really a ship to a D1 or D2 school that they can excel in their play and eventually make approach back into the backstop. Behind the plate today, again, for the Force is Aaron Barkley. As Barkley coming out of Mississippi Valley State, he's been swapping around catcher with a few other guys, and of course, with so many games, you can't catch 28, 27 innings every 3 days, really, because we've got 2 games today, a game yesterday, and that ball in the dirt is called a strikeout. Texas Network. Welcome back, everyone, here. Scotty Gange, Milad, Ghaemi here as we are jumping into the bottom of the first inning. A 1-2-3 inning for the first 3 guys out, and we're here with Junior Coleman up to the plate for the Force. Colby Childs pitching today for the Bulldogs, and a quick breakdown of around the field. McFarland from left to right, Neufeld, Galindo, and Warner.
We've seen it for 2 bags for this team. Set the tone early at the top of the order.
Seen a lot of it from Coleman as that first strike of the day comes in. SCCBL just last week after going 5 over 5 innings scoreless in their first win of the season over the Bombers. Next pitch there is a ball, 3-1 count, now 0. Just finished up his freshman year at Drury College in Springfield, Missouri. Childs to Coleman, and be a leadoff single for Junior Coleman.
And there's that on-base percentage we talked about. Junior Coleman, he keeps setting the tone, getting on base early, and it's only going to help. Right here.
Bennett, we've seen 6 RBIs in his first 2 games as a part of the force, rocking the fouls it away, and his first at-bat as a forceman just this past Friday hit a triple which bounced over the head of the right score. Coleman led off, getting on first base, and it was a triple which eventually scored, giving the Force a 2-0 lead. And of course, everyone curveball swung on, missed, and Coleman is safe into second base as it bounces into the outfield.
There we go again. Couple bags, put himself in scoring position.
You said it, Coleman, great player out of Riverside Community College, or Riverside City College, excuse me, so homegrown out of San Diego. So Childs in the stretch here to Bennett.
Greg's got a whole host of schools.
Bennett, great day at the plate, grabbing up several RBIs, I believe. Victory. Curveball swung on, missed. Got him twice with it. That'll be the first out for Colby Childs. And mark it up as a K to Greg Bennett.
Number 28, Jordan Wilkerson.
So next up, Jordan Wilkerson, today's left fielder for the Force. As I understand, Milad Wilkerson has been on the
or anything. Well, it's probably going to go out of the yard.
There goes Coleman. As late couldn't quite snag the ball. Coleman may have freaked him out a little bit, my Little League coach would say.
Having that speed in the top of the order so much, but Coleman getting over to third right here without even another hit or a walk helps the case for Jordan Wilkerson to go get an RBI right here. Do it here.
So speaks numbers on Junior Coleman. Gets a rip into right field to get the take a 1-0 lead. Don't be surprised if you see runs scored throughout the remainder of this season. As that ball hit over third base, should score, and tagged out.
So early in the game, but it pays off as they first only. So they get a great situation right there on the defense. Again, good job by the third baseman getting the ball home.
So mark it up as a fielder's choice, 5-2 in your scorebook, as Angel quick grab and it was a risky throw from Ortiz over at third base, but it looked like it was corners in, and with only one out, with Donnie Rothler coming up, it could have been still another pass balls that Colby Childs has thrown so far for the Force, and Coleman can't be happy with himself. As Donnie Rothler, big swing, bigger.
Don had a home run yesterday. He's looking to hit the ball good. He San Diego or Southern California league in batting average.
into center field, and it's going over the head of Brandon Galindo. It should score Wilkerson all the way from first base, and it will. Rother triple for Don Rothler.
Just as we talked, triple scores run, and that just proves how.
There by Don Rothler over the head of Brandon Galindo in center field, scores the San Diego Force's first run of the day, 1-0 Force here in the bottom of the first.
There's a new link for the broadcast feed for the Twitter post that you do.
Okay.
So next up, Drake Pearson for the Force, trying to give him a 2-0 lead. That pitch is called in for a ball, 2-0 now. Next pitch, low and away. Time right now here in San Diego, 1:12. Exactly. Sunny and set in the field on the base pass and at the plate.
From Angelina College, finished his freshman year over.
And that will be a 4-pitch walk, or 5-pitch walk, excuse me, from Colby Childs. So Childs already doing worse than his first start of the season, in which got him pitcher of the week. Childs went over 5 innings again, scoreless against the SoCal Bombers, and already given up a run here in the first inning.
Trey Martin, the third baseman, comes up. Great opportunity to get an RBI. He's done that consistently with runners in scoring position. It's just to see if he gets that.
First pitch to Martin is a curveball back door, called for a strike. Would not be surprised to see Drake Pearson steal second here. Try to get another man in scoring position. Both shortstop and second baseman are far away from the base. Curve
position getting them home, and now Drake Pearson sits at second. Good opportunity for the Force.
off of Jordan Wilkerson's grounder to third base. Donnie Rothler followed it up with a triple, scoring Wilkerson all the way from first. Drake Pearson walked, and Trey Martin right there with a RBI single. So 2 runs in 2 outs here for the San Diego Force, leading 2-0 as Aaron Barkley coming up to the plate now. 2 men on, 2 outs here. Curveball in for a ball to Barkley, 2-0 count. So 2-0, 2 outs with Trey Martin on first base and Drake Pearson on second.
2 out runners in scoring position, one of the biggest stats in baseball. This could dictate who wins this game.
Early on, but definitely want to get several runs early, especially with this high potent offense that the Force has, as that fastball hits the outside corner for a strike.
Talking to general manager Mike King, he said that he wants the team to continually push runs across, no matter how much they are up. So that's going to be a key thing to see in today's game.
Curveball. Hit it. Goes Colby Childs.
We saw that Gorillas game where it was 4-3. They got 3 runs kind of early on, but faded towards the end.
Lead over at second base for Martin. As swung on, missed, and that will end the first inning officially. Barkley. So after 1-2-0 Force, we'll be back with you. More innings of baseball here, San Diego Force broadcast.
Number 21.
4-5-6 due up for the Bulldogs here in the second inning. Travis McFarland, Shane Martinez, and Ethan Watt due up here as 2-0 Force leading things. Frank Lopez out for his second inning of work. 1-2-3 in the first inning. And here's the first pitch from Lopez to McFarland. First pitch fastball just high. McFarland, the four-hitter at for a strike. As great scoring runs in one game. In their first game of the season, they scored 21 total runs and coming back with. I mean, it's a team that Ireland is a big piece of that.
Definitely. But I think Frank Lopez's ability to pound the inner part of the zone.
Next pitch in for a strike from Lopez. Should be as a filled last inning. And Case Warner, the leadoff man. All three of those guys really phenomenal players at the plate. For the second inning.
Now that in.
So Frank Lopez failed, and Travis McFarland starting to own the match.
He's done such a great job. Not one person reaching base so far. Great opportunity for him to go deep into this ball game.
Shot from ground out, and that's out number 2 of the inning. Frank Lopez making quick work.
The Bulldogs. Watt.
So next up, the designated hitter is Ethan.
He's almost had a chance for a no-hitter, but I think Frank Lopez, even though it's early in this game, is in line for such.
In Arizona. As first.
They have a lot of guys, like you said, from small schools, but they do a good job of competing with some of the best players in the country.
Just not enough. There's 2-strike pitch, curveball, couldn't get enough of it. And looks like it may have nicked the home plate umpire, Tony Formondo, as he's going to take a quick break. Seems like it bounced away from Aaron Barkley and might have hit him right in the side. Unfortunate. And always
to get the cobwebs out, but Frank Lopez looking really good movement. He just got to find that location, and I think it's going to be a problem for him. Definitely.
And a bit of an unwritten rule there for an umpire. Time to catch his breath. So still 2 strikes here, 2 outs. 2-0 Force.
Again, Frank Lopez finishes junior year at University of Cumberland. He's played.
Fouled off the leg. And called fair as it lands in fair territory. I guess that's going to end the inning. Looked like it bounced right off of his knee. A nice heads-up play by Aaron Barkley to grab it and get the tag out, and just like that, we're heading into the bottom of the second here on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. 2-0 Force here in the bottom of the second inning. Due up the Force this inning, Andy Van Antwerp, Baker Springston, and top of the order of Junior Coleman. Work pitch from Childs to Van Antwerp. That's a broken bat.
Bat seems to be breaking so far.
One of the fun things about these here broke it in half, went over to second base as Baker Springston up here now when it pulled out for the bunt, excuse me, but pulled back, so first pitch ball.
Springston is currently at San Diego City College.
Springston, deep fly out into left field. There goes Sam Newfield over the head of Newfield, and Springston will jog over to second base. Should be two, and it is. Baker Springston, a double, the longest hit I've seen him so far this year.
And Springston is hitting ninth. Don't be fooled by that. He's had a great hitting season so far. He keeps finding a way to get on base. And now you have Junior Coleman with an opportunity to drive him in. Two speedy guys on the base path.
It's not Bruce Springsteen, it's Baker Springston.
I keep thinking of Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Baker looks just like him, that's why.
Coleman up. Here comes Childs with the stretch. Curve ball. Call for ball. In the first inning, stole second and third. But a reminder was thrown out at home.
He's got a great batter's eyes. So be interested to see him get a walk right here, but don't be.
Force up by 2, looking to make it 3. Inning 6-3, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
36.
Hit right there. With 2 outs, at least there is a runner at third, and you have a guy as well he has an opportunity to go get a base hit, drive another runner home.
Bennett, 6 RBIs in his past 2 games here for San Diego. First pitch into Bennett. Fastball high and in, called for a ball. Umpires. Curveball away. Although he's playing second today and really as to see him bounce around to the infield as well this summer. Curveball high, called for a ball.
Great job so far by the Force hitters. Working to extend his pitch count, and I think it's going to pay off as the game goes on.
So Bennett out of Iowa Western Community College. Colby Childs as Jordan Wilkerson coming up base, which eventually got the man Junior Coleman out at home.
Runners at the corner, great opportunity for Wilkerson to go cash in some runs right here.
Wilkerson, swing and a miss.
For interest and opportunities to go play college ball next year.
But then out at home, oh my goodness, what a play. Bounced away from A.J. Gerardo. On ball, threw it right back home. And just like that, the inning is over as Baker Springston. Third inning, still 2-0, San Diego Force.
Now on Facebook and Twitter. Now batting for the
2-0 force here heading into the top of the third. The catcher, Angel Ortiz, and Brandon Galindo. Frank Lopez threw two after that amazing play that I've never seen before to end the bottom half of the season. Was high for a ball. Lopez fastball shot into left field, and that'll be the first hit of the day for the Bulldogs. Market AJ Gerardo. The first hit and the first base runner of the day for Riverside. This brings up the 8-hitter of Angel Ortiz. Lopez high with mostly fastball, especially through the first 3 innings. You got to think later in the day, Milad, that he'll be showcasing his knuckle curve much more often.
But when that fastball is...
Good point, and there's that fastball.
He's got a runner on first, and so far he's gotten a lot of ground balls. So interesting to see if a double play happens here.
For second base goes AJ Gerardo, but bounces away from Aaron Barkley, and Gerardo will to second base. Mark it up as a passed ball. So E2. Bottom of the third. As Lopez in the stretch. Some SoCal Collegiate Baseball League conference play coming on right now. Scotty Gange, Milad Ghaemi here, part of the San Diego Force broadcast. Here, and we've got 18 or I guess 15 more beautiful innings of baseball.
Great day to have a doubleheader, especially on a Sunday. Lopez has to keep pressing his stuff. He can't change anything that he's done so far to strand that runner on second.
Pitch from Lopez. Gerardo over at second base thought he was going to make that play as he was already turning his hips to third, but had to scamper back into second base. Full count here to Angel Ortiz. Pitch for the Bulldogs.
Number 18, Brandon.
What pitches he decides to use with 2 runners on and how that affects his game plan along with the catcher, Aaron Barkley.
So next up, Brandon Galindo, the 9-hitter for the Bulldogs today. Back, foul ball. We saw him race back on that Don Rothler shot and couldn't quite get it. Back in the first inning, scoring first run of the day of Jordan Wilkerson. Frank Lopez up here. No outs here. 2 at first base, foul ball. So 2 missed opportunities there. Foul balls on bunts, and now you got to think he's squaring up to swing away.
Definitely, and it's a good spot for Frank Lopez because now he's a pitcher, but the defense is going
to... Lopez ahead in the count. No outs up. Stop of Drake Pearson, looking for 2. There's 1. Fires over to first base of Rothler, and that looks like San Diego Force. Pearson to Bennett to Rothler. What a great and much needed play there for the
runners still at third, but you got 2 outs, so good opportunity. No sacrifice in play. They only need a base.
And Lindo, of course, out at first. Dorado on the side of us, and it actually stuck in the fence. I just love seeing that. It's amazing. Case Warner up to the plate now for the Bulldogs, their leadoff man. And far away there. It might have been a knuckle curve, but anyway, it was in the dirt. Maybe bounced off a knee and went far away to where your Riverside Bulldogs are officially on the board.
And that's, I believe, 3 times now where he's had that wild pitch or ball in the dirt with that knuckle curve. He's got to find command of that, and Barkley's got to get adjusted to it.
Says. Low. A fastball high and out.
I know Frank's not too happy about that run, but he's got to buckle down with 2 outs right here.
Junior Coleman will round it, and that will be a single for.
Now back in number 1, Zach.
And Milad, we've seen no trouble here in the third.
Definitely, I think it's command issues with that knuckle curveball. It's not really working today. Look for him to switch that change up a little bit more.
Zach Amonte up as there goes. A great catch and throw there from catcher Aaron Barkley. Case Warner had a great jump. Throw now with caught stealing to end it. Heading on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. Jordan Wilkerson, the 3-hitter for the San Diego Force, trying to come out. San Diego leading it. But coming off the first inning, it looked like it was going to be all San Diego all day, and it hasn't turned to that. Riverside Bulldogs scored 1 run. Could bounce back to fair territory, and it does. Over to first, but called foul. As the ball may have bounced off of a foot of Jordan Wilkerson. Don't know. Couldn't see if it actually did. Anyways, Jordan Wilkerson getting another chance here. So 1 count from
Jordan Wilkerson. Haven't seen him hit a home run yet, but he's still getting and helping his team out, and he's got one of the better batting averages in this league.
1-2 count for Wilkerson. Already scored 2-2 count. So 2-1 again. Force leading things. Force jumped on the board in the first, scoring 2. But the Riverside Bulldogs were able to come back a weird squeaker pass ball that scored. Wilkerson, Roethler scored for the Force, excuse me. And A.J. Gerardo scored for the Bulldogs. That's a deep in the air. Could go, and gone. Can't even see it past the fence. An absolute moonshot from Jordan Wilkerson. My goodness.
Just as I said he was due for a home run, he goes and hits one. Absolutely gone. Outfielders didn't even know what they were looking for.
Wilkerson says hello to the Riverside Bulldogs.
I've seen him in batting practice absolutely double.
So 3-1 Force as Don Roethler swings on the first pitch. Miscommunication. Single. Looks like it was both of Colby. Tried to play the ball at the same time. They both just couldn't quite get a grab on it. And with that, Don Roethler today.
Roethler might surprise you with his speed. He could possibly steal a bag right here.
Don in his second season. Some last year and gotten close to him. Good guy and pretty funny man and loves to have a good time. Fun. Next up for the Force, Drake Pearson. Today was walked. Nothing about it. Walked, made his way to second base, but no help. First base, 3-1 Force lead. Child's curveball slapped away foul.
Opportunity for more runs for the Force right here with a runner on first and still nobody out.
Another foul ball.
Force have done a good job finding contact on the baseball. We've already seen one home run today. Patient in the hitter's counts and finding good opportunities to either walk or get on base.
And to those tuning in with us, we device you may be using, and we are Pearson flies it into deep right field. Case Warner going back. Case Warner under it, but can't make the catch. Lost it in the sun. Off base. And Case Warner, of Drake Pearson. E9 for the Force. Here still no outs in the bottom of the third.
Outs, runs on second and third. Good opportunity for the Force to strike with some.
And a quick mound visit. Be right back here with you here on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. Back in here with you, Scotty Gange, Milad, Ghaemi. Trey Martin to the plate here for the Force. No outs, runners on second and third. And called for a balk is Colby. And Don Roethler again will walk home of the day. plate, but he's back to get it. So 4-1 San Diego Force now. So great job striking back. Fly to right field. Case Warner going back. Case Warner won't be able to get it. Another run scored for the Force as Trey Martin going to second base looking for 3 and will hold that 2. Trey Martin, an RBI double.
Consistent all throughout, and he keeps racking up RBIs for the San Diego Force team.
Now Aaron Barkley up. A home run by Wilkerson. Roethler with a single. Drake Pearson, the deep fly out that should have been an out, but ended up being a double. And Trey RBI double. Error double. And oh yeah, there was a balk in there as well.
Pitcher Frank Lopez has supporting well, giving him a lot of run support. He's going to be able to cruise through these innings if he keeps it up.
Pitch in. Barkley struck out back in the first.
They can get.
Martin.
Himself on base every game we've seen him.
Pitch from Childs, high, ball. Force scored 2 in the first. Bulldogs came back with 1 in the top half of the third. And now the Force have scored 3 runs already with no outs here in bottom 3.
Barclays at Mississippi Valley State.
Curveball in. Run him up. As Aaron Barkley. So that'll be the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the third. Bringing it. Popped out in foul territory last inning in the second. So 1 out. Trey Martin still standing on second base. Colby Childs on the mound. Working.
I'll go look at that right now. I have no clue.
We'll figure it out. Then Antwerp at the plate. A righty. Curveball. Against Colby Childs. He's putting up good stuff. He's got his curveball working, been able to spot it, and his fastball. Trey Martin still just off the mark, says Tony Formon, the home plate umpire. Called for a ball. An eagle to a Forceman. Gotta love it. The eagle pops it up. And will be out of play. So 1 out here, 5-1. Once again, for those of you just tuning in to us, this is game 1 and 2 of 3 in the series. The Force won the series here in SCCBL play. Corpus throws over to second. So after giving 3 hits, Colby Childs has done a great job coming back, getting 2 on second base, and Baker Springston comes to the plate following his double from last inning. 5-1 Force. Springston, the 9-hitter. Called for a strike. He's really been spotting that curveball well.
Definitely that off-speed's been causing problems, and he started to use 4 batters. But Baker Springston, great opportunity to go get another RBI, or get another hit, I should say.
Curveball. and today in the field at right. Had to swing it on that one, was just able to get the end of the bat and slap it away. So Springston last inning hit the double over the head of Sam Newfield out in left field, but after a ridiculously weird hop off A. Gerardo, which bounced back to Colby Childs, the pitcher, Springston was ruled out at home. Springston, right side. Will it get Trey Martin going home? Case Warner throws it. A great throw, but Trey Martin is safe. Springston. Next one, San Diego.
The 3.5 hole. Terrific work to go advance second on the throw home.
So rule. Home. But Trey Martin, good job going.
This Force team keeps finding themselves in opportunities. Runners in scoring position. Great chance to keep tackling.
There goes Springston to third base. 2 outs stealing third base. He stops and out. An acrobatic slide there for Springston. You gotta believe it was a miscommunication, as one of the biggest Cardinal sins in baseball, the third out at third base. So Junior Coleman will walk back to for an absolutely successful inning for San Diego. 4 runs, including a Force Broadcast Network. An error, a double, and another, giving them a 6-1 lead off 4 runs in the bottom of the third. Field fence, which may have been one of the longest home runs I've ever seen here, and I've seen several here at Madison Stadium in San Diego. Force once again leading things 6-1 over the Riverside Bulldogs. Lopez coming in for his 4th inning of work, starting pitcher today. Lopez from his offensive unit. 4 runs in the bottom of the third. Now up for...
And that's great for a pitcher to have so much run support. Now it's 6-1. Trust his stuff. Keep using his command.
Beating up the fastball today.
It's early on in the inning, but it looks like starting to deviate.
Was fouled back there by Zekamonti in the field for the Force. Left to right, Jordan Wilkerson, Junior Coleman, and Baker Springston. Pitch. Skied high in the air, Junior Coleman. Under it. And that's out number 1 of the inning. So Zach Amonte fly out. pushing him to 0-2 on the day, and here comes Sam Newfield. In left field today, the free hitter, as Lopez was able to throw him a K back in the first inning.
Lopez has a great success at the top of the order.
Vanguard University on deck. Long throw over to first base, and a nice stretch by Roethler, and nice catch by Roethler over at first base for the second out of this fourth inning.
I saw him against the Gorillas make that diving stop and turn, and Don Roethler, tall first base, he's done a great job of stretching himself out so he can get those outs every single time.
And so probably a great thing for Frank SCCBL is hitting with an empty bases. Continued success at the plate for the Bulldogs this season. Pulled the trigger just a little right there. So 1-1 count from Lopez to McFarland. And wanted all of it, but got none of it. So 1-2 count from Lopez to McFarland.
Great command on that knuckle curve from Frank Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
Great job by Aaron Barkley. He's probably going to be going to the game for 9 innings. He's done a good job of mixing up the pitches so that Frank can have some good success.
Mm-hmm. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just checking first base, umpire called out, and still tag, walk away, and because he walked away, 1-2-3 inning for Frank Lopez. A fly out, a ground hitter on the Bulldogs, giving him 2 strikeouts on the day. So just like that, heading into the bottom of the fourth. 6-1. Alfred Paras now on the final line for Colby Childs. 3 innings pitched, 4 Ks, 3 walks, 6 runs allowed, and unofficially, of course, 5 earned runs, 6 total. Paras will have to start exactly where Childs started, at the top of the order. So here in the bottom of the fourth, 6-1 San Diego's of Madison High School. Pitch into Junior.
Great job by the force so far.
Junior Coleman slaps over to first base of Tom. Just able to step on first base before the speed Coleman can get there.
Coleman shows off his speed for those 90 feet. Great.
So a good start there for the man Alfred Paras. Next up, Greg Bennett for the San Diego Force. First pitch swung on, missed. One struck out in the first, walked in the second. 0-1 count here. Pitch to Greg Bennett. Skies it. Deep right field. Case Warner dropping back. Case Warner on. Nine. And a nice drop back by Case Warner. And to have the bases empty for Travis McFarland up to the plate. It's great for the Bulldogs to have the bases empty for Jordan Wilkerson, who just last inning hit a solo home run, which just soared, and he might fly out over to Case Warner in right field, and it will be caught. On it, but just could not get enough power for Jordan. The Bold, Scotty Gange, Milad Ghaemi here with you. San Diego Force Broadcast Network. 6 hitter and shortstop. First pitch to him goes in for a ball. Martinez 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to second base. Still on the mound for the Force. Lopez done a great 1, 2, 3 innings. Faltered a little bit in the second, which eventually as a high skying pop fly over to Don Rothler right on first base. Here in the top of the 5th.
And it's a positive sign to see Frank after a little bit of trouble in that second inning. He did a great job getting back to his roots, mixing in that knuckle curve once in a while to keep the hitters off their game.
And well said, and now comes Ethan Watt, who had one of the most interesting as he ended the, I believe it was, as he slapped it off of his leg, and it bounced in fair territory, and Aaron back him out, as he and the entire Bulldog squad was not too happy about it, as he was called out as you would think would be called foul. His wrongs in his mind. Pitch over by Lopez, called for a ball, so 1-2 count now. Watt, today's designated hitter for the Bulldogs, at least here in Game 1. Could go up. Quite get it as Junior Coleman coming in
For that crazy bounce, I was going to say that Frank Lopez might start using a little bit more of that off tough for Trey Martin. He's done a great job defensively, and those weird hops are just killing the defense for both teams.
So yeah, of course the air goes to Trey Martin over at third base. I don't think many players on the field would be able to make that play. Maybe Junior Coleman.
Definitely.
It's the first pitch into A.J. Gerardo, the lone run of the day for the Bulldogs. He's in for a strike. Ethan Watt standing now on first base. And there's a heater coming in from Frank Lopez. And as you said, the forcer, Frank Lopez, has been throwing lots and lots of fastballs. And as we would have to think, as the game gets deeper, he's going to start relying more on the off speed.
Definitely. We'll see how Frank Lopez adjusts to the hitters.
Fouled to the left side there.
And Frank Lopez, he's got a great catcher in Aaron Barkley. He'll be calling.
A little bit of off Gerardo. It's like a changeup bounced a few.
Great opportunity right there to time it in the dirt. Gets a nice swing, and that's another out for Frank Lopez.
So far, impressive pitching from Frank Lopez through 4 2/3. As that first pitch in there called strike. Angel Ortiz now up.
Frank Lopez definitely has a chance to go deep into this ball game.
Lopez picks over, bounces away from Roethler. It will be an easy bag and ruled out of play as it rolls under the fence over there next to the San Diego Force bullpen, or dugout, excuse me. And so with that, Ethan Watt reached first base by means of an error and now reaching second base by means of an error. Two outs here. Watt on second base. 6-1. San Diego Force leading things. 2 in the first, 4 in the third for the Force. That next pitch is slapped back foul off the hands of Angel Ortiz. Ortiz back in the third inning was hit by a pitch and eventually ruled out by the means of fielder's choice, or double play actually, at second base. Ortiz made a highlight play back in the first, snacking a ground ball at third base, throwing out Junior Coleman to keep things then at 0-0 score. Angel Ortiz is normally a slap hitter. We haven't really gotten to see him swing the bat today.
Definitely a big gap in left center for sure.
Mm-hmm. As a walk for the second time today, Angel Ortiz will reach bases by not swinging. Hit by a pitch back in the second, and now, or in the third, and now here in the fifth. 4 balls thrown to him for a walk.
If I were to point to any Achilles heel for Frank Lopez, just to think he had 3 walks in his last start. Here he already has 2 to the same batter.
First pitch into Brandon Galindo, the 9-hitter, called for a strike. Galindo back in the third inning, grounded into a double play. Just when we all thought the Bulldogs were going to get something rocking and rolling, he got that double play, which really changed the atmosphere of the inning as the ball bounces away behind Aaron Barkley. Watt third, Ortiz to second. And just like that, 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs here, and a major at bat here for both Frank Lopez and the Riverside Bulldogs.
There's another fastball. We talked about it. Might see him go back to that fastball, considering the fastballs are going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm. Like you said it, fastball in for a strike, and these guys being so new to each other, I don't think Aaron Barkley has caught, frankly, as this year. And so different off speeds, it's hard to catch. And for hitters, it's hard to hit. For catchers, you don't really often think it, but it's hard to catch these knuckle curveballs, especially when you don't have much experience doing it. Pitch in. Foul just back. So 1-2 count now.
I haven't seen a lot of Frank Lopez using those off speeds high in the zone. A lot of them are bouncing in the dirt, and that's, as you said, proven tough for Aaron.
Here on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. New pitcher in for the Bulldogs as Barbadas. First pitch in for a strike against Don Rothler. One San Diego Force leading things here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Out to right field to Case Warner, which Warner lost it in the San Diego Summer Sun.
Great job by Rothler getting 2 infield singles.
Yeah.
Good opportunity to get on base. He's already got 3 on bases, as we said. Good opportunity to steal it well.
And a liner out into center field, and coming on was Brandon Galindo. So great jump by Galindo out in center, makes the catch, and one out here in the bottom of the fifth. 6-1, San Diego Force leading things. If you're just joining us in here, Scotty Gange, Milad, Ghaemi, part of San Diego Force Broadcast Network. In today's first game of 2, we've got a doubleheader here and could not be more excited about it. What a beautiful day for some baseball with 2 phenomenal teams with several players from across the country and even world. There goes Rothler. Bounces it back right to us. As may have been a hit and run. Pitch was pretty far outside. I want to say it was a hit and run, Milad.
Definitely. Rothler shows his speed. He's probably going to look to steal it. Going to set back. And here's Trey Martin, guy machine, with an opportunity to go and advance some runners.
Trey Martin 2 for 2 on the day, a single and a double.
Talk about a great read in center field by Lindo. That ball was moving quickly, and Sun, we talked about it. Madison's a tough place to go catch balls in the outfield. He goes, makes a nice play.
Curveball to Martin. Grounded over to second baseman of Amonte. Amonte looks to second and will get the out of Roethlisberger. Gets the leading run from Amonte to Martinez at second base. A nice play there. 2 outs here in the 5th. So now here comes Aaron Barkley. Behind the plate, but he can't grab it. And so finally, Aaron Barkley finds his way on base. It is an error off the third baseman, Angel Ortiz, but Aaron Barkley now on first base for the Force. So Barkley on first, Trey Martin on second, took the spot of Don Roethlisberger, who was out off that fielder's choice. And now here comes the 8-hitter, Andy Van Antwerp. Andy 0 for 2 on the day as well. Flew out, or popped out in the third, struck out in the fourth. Curveball coming from Barbada. Called the ball.
Great eye by Andy. Not allowing that curveball to make him look like a fool.
Barbada takes a quick sec, looks over. Just peeking. Martin on second. Barkley on first. 6-1 San Diego lead here. In the bottom of the 5th inning. Here comes Barbada. Fastball. Just outside, called ball, 2-0 count.
Good job by Andy working himself for the 2-0 count. Good opportunity for him to possibly get a walk right here.
Barbada, the third slinger of the day for the Bulldogs. Bounces away from Gerardo. And an easy bag for both Martin and Barkley. So Martin moves to third, Barkley at second. And Van Antwerp finds his way on base for the first time today by means of that walk. So now here comes Baker Springsteen, 2 for 2 on the day. He hit an absolute shot back in the second inning for a double and singled in the third, although he was caught stealing twice today. First pitch, curveball from Barada.
While the bases are loaded, the Bulldogs still have a double play at any base. Everything's a force out. So they're going to have a good opportunity to get out of this unscathed with the ground ball.
Here's the pitch. Slapped away. So around the bases for the Force. Barkley on second. Martin on third. Van Antwerp on first. Springsteen, the 9-hitter, up to the plate with, of course, the top of the order and Junior Coleman on deck. Barbada in his first inning of relief. 2 outs here in the 5th. 6-1 Force says Springsteen pops it up. Could stay in fair territory, and it does. So stays in the yard. That's a nice catch by A.J. Gerardo, the catcher. So pops up in foul territory for the third out, and 3 men are left on base for the Force. 1 hit. No errors, 3 men left on. No runs scored. 6-1 still San Diego leading things heading into the 6th inning here on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. Top of the order up to the plate here for the Riverside Bulldogs. Ace Warner, Zach Amonte, Sam Newfield due up against the man on the mound for the Force, Frank Lopez. Lopez now in his 6th inning of work through 5, giving up 1 run as his first pitch of the 6th inning is in for a strike. Here comes Lopez. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, swung on, miss. There's that off speed we've been talking so much about today. Welcome in, everyone. Scotty Gange, Milad, Ghaemi here, part of the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. Today's SCCBL conference matchup. We're going to see 2 ball games today in games 2 and 3 of the series. On this past Tuesday, the Force defeated the Bulldogs 9-3, giving the Bulldogs their only loss of the season. Both teams coming off 2 victories.
It seems like Frank only has trouble with one part of the order. The rest of the time he's been smooth sailing so far, and he's going to look to push very deep into this ball game today.
Surprisingly enough, as you said, that part of the order has been really 7-8-9. It's been mowing through the top of the order, as you saw right there. Case Warner down on strikes. Warner now 1 for 3 on the day.
We talked about the top of the order. Usually it's going to have your best hitters, but with this team, it's some of the best hitters in the whole league. And Frank Lopez has continually struck them out.
Yeah, through the first 5 hitters, or 6 hitters, start next game, so we'll have to wait and see what that's all about. As right there, a strike thrown by Frank Lopez, but definitely giving Coach Moody and the entire Force Ball Club a gift by going so far and so efficiently. As we see a walk, and a pretty rare walk today from him. So Zach Amonte reaches bases by means of the 4-pitch walk. Bringing up Sam Newfield. 3-hitter, 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out in the first, grounded out in the 4th. Newfield in left field today. Amonte, small lead. Nice stop there by Aaron Barkley. As Milad, it's really the only thing that's been trouble for Lopez on the mound has been pass balls.
Definitely that knuckle curveball, that changeup in the dirt has caused problems for both the pitcher and the catcher. But great stop right there.
Next pitch, fastball, high and outside. Wants to hit a corner, called for a strike. 6-1 score here. The top of the 6th inning. Fastball away. Force scored 2 in the first. Bulldogs came back with a 1 in the 3rd, and the Force bounced right back. 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, giving us our 6-1 score today. Barkley throws over to first base. And a heads-up play by Barkley after Amonte was getting a rather large delayed lead, or secondary lead. It was a lot closer than it actually looked.
Definitely, that looked very close for me.
Swing and a miss coming in from Sam Newfield. Just that scary of a hitter. Everybody that comes up, outfield takes a few steps back as a high sky fly ball into left field. Junior Coleman looks like he's under it. Could end the inning, and a catch, and that will end the top of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and just 1 walk. 1 runner left on by the Bulldogs. Frank Lopez, another solid inning of work. 6-1 San Diego heading into the bottom of the 6th here on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. Getting jiggy with it here in San Diego, California. I didn't just say that. It's because the song is on, Milad. You got to help me out. Prove to everyone that the song is actually on.
Definitely, that song is on for sure.
All right, so the song's getting on. We're having a little fun in here in the broadcast booth. Luckily for all of you guys watching, there's no camera in here for us because you would have to see my poor dance moves because I'm enjoying myself out here. It's 6-1 San Diego Force leading things. A beautiful day, and we're in our brand new, it's not really brand new, a year old, but it's still just beautifully clean and wonderful and organized in our broadcast booth here. For all of you watching across the country and perhaps the globe, who knows? 6-1 San Diego Force over the Riverside Bulldogs, and we will Alfred Barras, Jake, and we'll see if Brandon Wetnight, how long he goes. But for sure, Alfred Barras and Jake Barbata, you've got to believe they'll be pitching in the second game. So, Brandon Wetnight will start at the top of the order for the Forces. Here comes Junior Coleman. Coleman 1 for 3 on the day. Slapped over to second base goes Coleman to Zach Amonzi. Amonzi fields it, throws it, and just like that, Junior Coleman 1 for 4 today. Rule it up as a 4-3 ground out.
36.
The Force struck early, scoring 2, and then had a monstrous inning in the third, scoring 4, but since then, Milad, it's been quiet.
Definitely, I think the Force need to start getting more guys on base and capitalizing on those runners and scoring.
So now this brings on Greg Bennett, who been rather quiet at the plate, but we kind of talked about in between innings. He is just a fantastic athlete, a fun one to watch. Made some great plays in the field today, and until today has been hitting just off the charts. So 1 out here in the 6th inning. 6-1 San Diego.
Greg Bennett's got a great opportunity to bring off this inning. He's got 6 RBIs this season, and now Jordan Wilkerson has a guy on base so that he can go back in some more runs as well.
Bennett's second walk of the day, walk back in the 2nd, and now here in the 6th is, again, Jordan Wilkerson. Mr. Home Run Man skied it high, just behind home plate, and just dropped there by A.J. Gerardo. And we've been talking about all day. That sun is just so tough to play it with. And Gerardo was under it, and an awkward play for him, as you probably saw perfectly right with your view, maybe even better than us. Bounced off the glove, might have even squeezed it a little too early. But with that, Jordan Wilkerson, really, I'd say him and Don Rolfe are the two men that you don't want to give a second chance to, and Jordan Wilkerson has got it. So 0-1 count to Wilkerson. Fastball for a strike outside. So Greg Bennett on first base. Wilkerson back in the third. If you weren't watching with us or haven't heard me allude it to several times, because I'm just still dumbfounded at how long and far he hit his home run back in the third. It went over the blue, whatever it is. As it could be 2 outs right there. Greg Bennett out to second base. Wilkerson between both Case Warner and Brandon Galindo. Second baseman of Zach Amonte trotted backwards and was about 15 feet to the left of the ball. So Amonte totally lost it. Galindo struggled to find it, and Case Warner just couldn't get there in time.
Amonte threw his hands up as to say he couldn't even track that ball. And once we saw that, we knew that ball was going to fall. Great job by Jordan Wilkerson running the whole time so that he can go get over to third.
Yeah, fortunate play for the Force. It's 2 outs of Force he's going to be running, and made his way all the way to third, at least not scored for the Bulldogs, but now Drake Pearson with a chance to give the Force their 7th run of the day. 6-1 lead for San Diego currently. So technically, I believe in the book, you mark that a hit, so that makes Roethler 4 for 4 as he's running to second right now. Swung on, missed. Roethler into second and steps back on second base, and I guess he's called safe. It looked like the second baseman of Amonte slapped the tag. Roethler took a step back to the dugout, but didn't touch second again, and maybe there was no tag or maybe even dropped the ball. I couldn't quite see, but anyways, Roethler is into second base with a stolen back.
Umpire didn't even motion. That was
yeah.
the confusing part.
Definitely very weird. So
Fourth
Sandy
stolen base for Don Roethler.
4 already as that ball bounces away, and with the shallow backstop, nothing done there by Jordan Wilkerson. And yeah, Don Roethler, he's really so far been doing all. He's been playing well in the field. He's been killing it at the plate. And when I say killing it, I mean absolutely just phenomenal hitting at the plate. He's got 3 hits today, a triple, 2 singles, and I guess 3 singles now, and 4 stolen bags on the year. He's
definitely keeping the batting average.
gets out of it unscathed. No runs on 1 hit, 2 men left on for the Force as Brandon Wetnight gets through his first inning of relief. 6-1 San Diego heading into the 7th. Let's stretch here on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. It's called deep fly there, coming off the bat of Shane Martinez. But trotting in is Jordan Wilkerson. We've seen him do it at the plate and now in the field. One out here in the 7th.
Number 3.
And here's that bottom order that we talked about causing problems for Frank Lopez. Let's see if he can get over this.
And actually ruled single as that ball was able to bounce before in the glove of Jordan Wilkerson. So that a single off the bat of Shane Martinez. So no outs still here in top of the 7th. 6-1 San Diego Force leading it. Martinez on first. Ethan Watt, designated hitter at the plate. University of Southern cannot caught and pitched. Their ace his sophomore year.
You know, most pitching coaches are veterans, but I think it's great for a player to have another guy who's currently playing giving him advice. It's great for a pitcher like Frank Lopez. That advice too.
Mm-hmm. Watt swings on it, fouled to the right side. And you know, definitely interesting, especially for college. High school, and there's just a player so much better than you. You know, I committed to a D1 school, and you're just playing just for the heck of it. It would be something different. But CJ, of course, a phenomenal player. He was the ace at USC, and now he's coming to these guys who are the same age. And, I mean, a little better skill level, you would think, is a nice double play ball right there. Drake Pearson, Greg Bennett, all the way to Donnie Rothler. And the first two outs here in the 7th inning, just what the Force needed as I was rambling.
Now batting.
Curveball away, called for a ball. No activity out in the Force bullpen here in the 7th.
You've had terrific pitching so far this season from the Force. Justin Coleman yesterday threw 5 innings, no earned runs, and here's Frank Lopez doing his thing.
Over to left field, and that'll be the second of the inning. First inning of the day today that Lopez has given up one hit. So give it to A.J. Gerardo, the only man on the Bulldogs. Singles today. So 2 for 3. Gerardo singled in third, struck out in the 5th, and just there here in the 7th.
Looks like there is a bit of activity in the Force bullpen. But Frank Lopez, his hits have been scattered, so I think he'll be able to finish this strong.
Looked like as I was saying that, Stubbs making his way over. Tell somebody to warn. Over to Drake Pearson. Catches it. Makes the throw over to first base. High chopper, but Drake Pearson. Welcome back, everyone, here in the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. Scotty Gange, Milad, Ghaemi here, and we welcome you into San Diego, California. Just under 70 degrees, or just over 70 degrees, actually, 72 on the dot. 2:43 p.m. here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-1 Force over the visiting Riverside Bulldogs. As Trey Martin right there grounds it up the middle over to the shortstop of Shane Martinez. Martinez, nice grab and throw. One out here in the 7th.
Nice play on the infield. Tough play to make right there. And Trey Martin speeding down the line. Could have been an infield single, but good job by the Bulldogs defense.
So one out. Barkley 0 for 2 and has reached back in the 5th. For his second inning of relief. Barkley shoots it out. His second base safely standing. That's a double for Andy Van Antwerp, his first hit of the day.
Great job by Van Antwerp putting that ball in play down the line. Good opportunity to go get 2 bases. Designated hitter doing his thing.
You said it, doing his thing. Finally, says Andy Van Antwerp. 2 outs. Back in the 2nd and 3rd. Struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, and finally swing on. Now Baker Springsteen SCC San Diego City College.
Throwing great pitches consistently and
A short break for us here on the San Diego Force Broadcast Network. Scotty Gange, Milad, Ghaemi. New pitcher on the mound for the Force, Avery Wood. In for what I would think is perhaps the 6-out save, looking at the bullpen, seeing no
I mean, there's nothing more you can ask from him. He had a play with that knuckle curveball and changeup in the third, getting past the catcher, but only one unearned run. Sorry, he keeps his ERA at a perfect.
I want to say Coleman's got the green light where they're always saying, if you're on base, just go for it. Just get some extra bags. And honestly, I would just love to see him steal third, and wouldn't be surprised, even with a 5-run lead here. Big lead over at second base is Coleman, and Greg Bennett takes a timeout. And obviously, as we can see, the long stare down at second base for Wetman, as Coleman is in his head. Or Wet Knight, excuse me. Brandon Wet Knight on the mound. Coleman, large secondary lead, doesn't move. Pitches in there for a ball high. A.J. Gerardo still catching today for Riverside. Will be his 8th inning behind the plate. Interested to see if he'll be out there next game.
Greg Bennett has a big chance with one single. He can get a run home right here. It's interesting to see over the course of the game. In the earlier innings, a lot of the pitchers are not really checking on Coleman, as was the case yesterday. But now, as the innings go on and he gets more stolen bases, the pitchers are continually watching him.
Next pitch in, called for a ball. Yeah, I don't think anybody quite terrorizes the minds of pitchers more on the San Diego Force than Junior Coleman does.
Great opportunity here, top of the order. Greg Bennett, who's been having a great season so far, he can go get a single.
6-1 Force, Greg Bennett, swing and a miss. Moving things to full again. So in the two batters here in the 8th inning, both counts have risen to 3 and 2. No outs here in the 8th inning, Force up 5 runs. Just game 1 of 2. For those wondering, game 2 will probably start approximately 45 minutes after the end of game 1. No need for the teams to warm up at all. Probably just grab a sandwich, pack up their stuff, maybe stretch out a little bit as that pitch is in there for a ball. But yeah, I'd say probably around 45 minutes, at the most an hour, after the end of game 1. Originally supposed to start at 4 p.m., as right now 3 o'clock. So would not be too surprised to see it really start 4 o'clock on the dot. For those wondering, you can follow us on Twitter at SD Force Baseball to get all the in-tune timing for the games. Now coming up is Jordan Wilkerson. That's first pitch in there for a ball.
When you're setting a lineup up for baseball, hitters 1, 2, and 3 are probably going to try to find their way on the base pass, and you hope your 4 guy is going to go hit a big shot. And great opportunity right here with runners on first and second for Jordan Wilkerson.
Wilkerson up, 2 men on, bounces away. Coleman easily to third. Bennett still walking over to second base. Marketed pass ball. Wet Knight struggling. So 2 walks from Wet Knight. 6-1. And I think Wilkerson trying to make it 8-1. Who knows? Maybe
a 2-0 count. It'll be interesting to see if he block and maybe we get a Don Ross or Papa Slam.
0 for 3, reach base by means of an error back in the 5th. Barkley looking for his first hit of the day. Doesn't look like he'll grab it right there. Fly ball to Case Warner, shallow right field, and it's a catch. Get through these 3 outs without letting up 8 or 9 runs, which I would not believe would happen. That's a high fly ball right there by Christian Paul. Tough catch for Donnie Roethler. He can't find it, and it bounces right in front of him. And I wish we can just clip that and show every time for probably the next 50 times this summer that somebody's going to lose the ball in the sun.
Definitely, and that's the second time today, and all you can do is just throw your hands up and say, I can't find it. No way to find that ball in the sun, and I have to say, on the pitching staff side, 2 relievers that stand out the most are Avery Wood and Masa Tamaguchi. Great guys for high leverage situations and also opportunities to go more than 1 inning. And that's terrific for the Force to put their ranking higher in conference play and in the country.
Yeah, we'll probably see Masa later today, and we've gotten to see some great pitching out of him today, and you especially in traveling up to Pasadena yesterday gotten to see that Ephus in action, and that's just exciting to watch. I'm looking forward to that for the rest of the season. And Avery Wood today, he's been lighting it up. He's been spotting his pitches well, and mostly we've been seeing the fastball as Manny Galvin is now the pinch runner over at first base. And Shane Martinez is up to the plate right now. Martinez 0 for 3 on the day.
Great mechanics and delivery from Avery Wood. He keeps that glove real high and he keeps that knee all the way up to about his chest. And it's helping him get a lot of velocity on every pitch.
Avery Wood in the stretch. Martinez over at first. And Martinez at home. Fastball low and away, called for a ball. Same infield and outfield look for the Force has been all game. Fouled off the mask of Aaron Barkley, the catcher. So one more time.
If that stayed up in the air a little bit longer, you might have been able to go catch that.
Would have been an interesting out for sure. I don't know how they would call that, because maybe you've seen those little, they nick it and the catcher catches, it's just a strike. But who knows, maybe because it bounced up. It's strategy right there. Just couldn't quite get it. So Wood in here, no outs. Trying to close things out. 9-1 San Diego. Ball bounces away, called for a ball. In the field, Martin, Peterson, Bennett, Roethler, that's your third to first. Wilkerson, Coleman, Springston, that's your left to right. Barkley, of course, behind the plate. Frank Lopez went through the first 7 innings phenomenally, giving up 1 run, and now Avery Wood. Last inning, three clean outs, and now trying to close things out here in the 9th. Ball by Ramirez, slapped out of play. That ball will most likely be gone forever.
Definitely much more than a quality start from Frank Lopez. That's a terrific outing from him. Props to Avery Wood for 2 innings and getting the job done, shutting the door for this Force team.
Yeah, really can't say enough about Frank Lopez. Here's Avery Wood. Shot right back up the middle. Junior Coleman grabs the bounce. Bounces over his head. As Ramirez split into second base, Ramirez won't be waved home. He's going to stay at third base, but that's a double, a 2-back for Shane Martinez. As Ramirez makes his way to third, Martinez on second base, and although it's an 8-run game, the Bulldogs have got something cooking.
Taking a look at the last outing for Avery Wood, he threw 2 innings, gave up 2 runs unearned, but still he keeps the ERA perfect.
So now Cole Cooper pinch hitting in for Ethan Watt, DH, who struggled today 0 for 3. And Cooper trying to grab runs 2 and 3 for the Bulldogs. Once again, an 8-run ball game. Force leading it. Avery Wood in the stretch. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Didn't curve high. And it looks like, at least to me, that Junior Coleman out there was trying to charge it, grab it on the one hop, and maybe even fire it to second base of Greg Bennett and get the forced out, because it was such a hard hit ball. I think he just it was an instinct and didn't snap into him. That'll probably bounce over his head with all those funky hops.
Definitely.
Wood fastball outside, gets away from Barkley. No movement. Both Ramirez and Martinez hold on third and second, respectively.
Interesting to see Avery Wood work out of this jam.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the damage limited to only 1 run this whole game.
Swung on, missed there by Cooper. Avery Wood lights it up and gets a strikeout. So that is the first out here in the 9th inning, pushing them Bulldogs to 2 more outs. 8-run ball game. The Force beat the Bulldogs this past Tuesday by a final score of 9-3 and 9. This is the first game of the day between the Force and Bulldogs. It's going to be a short intermission, I guess I'd say, in between 2 games. About 30, 45 minutes. First pitch there by Wood is called for a ball. In this game, if I were proved wrong, it would be a miracle. But this game is out of reach. It's an 8-run ball game. The Bulldogs are down to their final 2 outs. Avery Wood is chucking it hard. And the Force have just about everybody in their bullpen that can come on in case everything goes crazy. And a shot out there into right center field. Misplayed it in left field is Jordan Wilkerson. That will score 2 and 9-3 ball game. So Wilkerson came out, could not clean it or field it cleanly after the 5-5 hole shot off of Angel Ortiz, and Angel Ortiz 2 RBIs.
There's 2 more unearned runs for Avery Wood. That 5.5 hole is a great spot. You'll get 2 runs when the base is loaded. You got run.
Here, a couple parents that I've recognized from some of the hometown kids, both behind home plate and along the right field line, just behind the chain link fence. Here's the 0-2. Just fouled back. So Mottler now playing defensive swinging. Standing at just about 6'4". And the unfortunate thing when you're that tall is you just have a massive strike zone.
Definitely that strike zone. Very big, and that's good for Avery Wood. He can throw pretty much anywhere.
Wood, the deep breath, checks it. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swung on, missed. Sending him back to the dugout, his second K of the inning. Down to the final out. Here are the Bulldogs. Case Warner, the leadoff man. 1 for 4 on the day, singled back in the third. 2 men on, 9-3. If the Bulldogs, Milad, I think it may be the greatest for the Bulldogs. 2 runs in the first for the Force, 4 in the third, 3 in the eighth. 1 run in the third for the Bulldogs, and 2 here in the top of the ninth, as we've just witnessed by the 2-run RBI single for Angel Ortiz. Here's the pitch, 1-2, 2 outs here. Avery Wood checks. Here he comes. Slapped over to second baseman Greg Jennings. Should be easy play at 1, and it is. It's the ball game. 9-3, 4 minute, and they capture the series. San Diego Force win game 1 of 2 of the day, game 2 of 3 of the series, and just like that, the home team, San Diego Force, grabbed their first series victory in the SCCBL in 2018. The 7-time champions of the SCCBL start off strong. 2 straight wins in conference play. Milad, who stood out to you the most today?
100% Frank Lopez on the pitching side. Terrific job going 7 innings, 1 unearned run. He had 6 strikeouts, upping his total from his last outing. I mean, Frank Lopez is a guy that can definitely ride on him and the
as can't tip my cap enough to him. And with that, we're going to end this broadcast. A quick break. We're going to grab ourselves a little snack, clean things up in here, and get ready for 9 more innings of some San Diego Force baseball. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego. Hope you can stick around with us. We'll get the second game rocking in just over 30 minutes. Looking forward to it, and hope you enjoyed the game. Final score, 9-3, San Diego Force over the Riverside Bulldogs. They captured their first series win in the 2018 SCCBL Summer League. We'll catch you in just over 30 minutes, and see you soon.